Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chicago Med alum Nick Gehlfuss to return as a guest star. Nick Gehlfuss is going back to Chicago Med. The actor, who played Dr. Will Halstead in the show's first 8 seasons, from 2015 until 2023, will return as a guest star in upcoming season 11, EW has learned. The NBC medical drama is scheduled to return to TV with new episodes in October, though it's unclear when or for how many episodes Gehlfuss will appear. Gehlfuss' character left the hospital for Seattle, where he reunited with and married Tori DeVito's earlier departed character, Dr. Natalie Manning, and became a stepfather to her son, Owen, who is played by child actor Ari Morgan. As Halstead, Gehlfuss has appeared on over 160 episodes of Chicago Med and more than a dozen episodes, each of the other Chicago Universe shows, Chicago PD and Chicago Fire. Showrunner Alan McDonald told TV Line in May that he planned to bring back an original cast member or two in the episodes. When Gehlfuss left the series in May 2023, he told Variety that it had been a difficult decision. Ultimately, I felt I'd taken Dr. Halstead as far as I can go with him. I think that comes down to a creative part of you, or the energy or spirit you have that you're either built for a very long time with one person or not, he said. I am attracted to the profession for the variety in it, and 8 years is a long time. It's 2 college degrees. I'm joking now that I basically have a doctorate in television. Gehlfuss said then that he and DeVito, who had herself left the show in the 7th season, had stayed in touch. So he had hoped that she would be part of his send-off. To the actor, Halstead was a character to be respected. He protected his patients as if they were his family. The way in which he was so committed to his work and what he was called to do in this life, the passion he had with all of that, I will never forget, Gehlfuss explained. He would take risks for people. Now there could be conversation about was he putting his personal stuff in the way of his work sometimes. Did that muddy situations? Yes. I will never forget to remind myself that the lesson I learned that Will Halstead may not have learned, which is to leave your personal stuff out of your work. I'll never forget how he's also a fighter. He just fought for whatever he felt was necessary for himself or his patients. When Nick Gehlfuss walked out of Chicago Med in May 2023, fans felt the loss immediately. As Dr. Will Halstead, the charming, stubborn, and often self-righteous attending physician of Gaffney Chicago Medical Center, Gehlfuss carried more than just medical storylines. He carried the emotional heart of the show. His departure, wrapped in a bittersweet wedding and a fresh start in Seattle, seemed like the final chapter for Halstead. But in true One Chicago fashion, final chapters don't always stay closed. Now whispers around Wolf Entertainment's world have become a resounding cheer. Nick Gehlfuss is officially set to return to Chicago Med as a guest star. And it's not just a cameo. The return of Will Halstead promises to shake up the hospital in ways that will ripple through the halls of Gaffney Memorial, stirring up nostalgia, old conflicts, and perhaps even reigniting unfinished business. The announcement that stopped fans in their tracks. When news broke of Gehlfuss's return, social media lit up with fans celebrating, creating fan edits of Halstead's most memorable moments. From his fiery clashes with Sharon Goodwin to his heartbreaking goodbye to Natalie Manning, Will's storylines have been some of the most layered on the series. NBC confirmed the guest spot with a simple press release. Nick Gehlfuss will reprise his role as Dr. Will Halstead in an upcoming episode of Chicago Med. Expect an emotional reunion that highlights the character's lasting impact at Gaffney Chicago Medical Center. That one sentence was enough to spark speculation across the One Chicago fandom. Would he return as a happily married man, coming back for a quick consult? Or was there a deeper reason? Maybe trouble in Seattle, or a crisis that only Will Halstead could solve. Why now? Nick Gehlfuss had been candid in interviews after his departure, explaining that the decision to leave was his. After 8 seasons, he wanted to explore new opportunities as an actor, while leaving the door open for Will's possible return. "I didn't want to burn the bridge," he told Deadline in 2023. "I wanted to leave in a way that allowed him to come back if it made sense." Well, apparently, it makes sense now. Sources close to the production hint that Gehlfuss's guest spot isn't just fan service. It ties directly into a larger season arc. With Gaffney facing a shakeup in leadership and a new medical ethics dilemma brewing, Will Halstead's presence could serve as both a callback to the past and a catalyst for future drama. What fans might see. The last time viewers saw Will, he was heading into the sunset with Natalie Manning, finally putting years of romantic whiplash behind them. His move to Seattle seemed permanent. But if Chicago Med has taught viewers anything, it's that life, and television writing, rarely follows a straight path. Imagine the scene. Sharon Goodwin walks into the ED to find Will leaning casually against the nurse's station, his familiar scrubs back in place, the same mischievous grin on his face. Maggie, tears welling in her eyes, drops everything to hug him. Dr. Charles, calm and wise as ever, greets him with quiet joy, a mentor reunited with his sometimes impulsive protege. And then, of course, there's the tension. How would Crockett Marcel, now one of the hospital's leading surgeons, react to Will's return? Their friendship had been tested over the years, especially during the Natalie saga. Would those old rivalries resurface? And what about Hannah Asher, whose recovery and growth as a doctor mirrored Will's own journey of second chances? His reappearance could spark new challenges, or perhaps offer her much-needed closure. Possible storylines. While producers remain tight-lipped, fans can dream of scenarios that would justify Halstead's return. Medical crisis tied to Natalie. Natalie Manning may be in trouble, personally or medically. Will could return because she needs the expertise of Gaffney's staff, pulling him back into the orbit of his old colleagues. Hospital in peril. With leadership shifts, budget cuts, or legal trouble, Sharon Goodwin might reach out to Will for help navigating uncharted waters. His moral compass, though flawed, has always leaned toward protecting patients at any cost. Mentorship arc. Will could serve as a mentor to one of the newer doctors, helping guide them through the ethical landmines of medicine, just as Dr. Charles once guided him. Personal closure. Perhaps Will's return isn't about medicine at all. Maybe he's coming back to make peace with his brother, Jay Halstead, who left Chicago PD, or to lay down ghosts from his past at Gaffney. Cast reactions. Nick Gehlfuss's former castmates were quick to welcome the news. Marline Barrett, Maggie, posted on Instagram, "Once a family, always a family. Can't wait to hug my brother Will again." Oliver Platt, Dr. Charles, simply shared a heart emoji, a subtle but powerful nod to the enduring bond between their characters. Even Tori DeVito, who played Natalie, chimed in, fueling speculation with a cryptic post. Some stories never really end. They just take a pause. Could this mean she'll appear too? Fans certainly hope so. Why this return matters. One Chicago thrives on its interconnectedness. Characters float between Med, Fire, and PD, reminding fans that the city is one living, breathing universe. The return of Nick Gehlfuss doesn't just mean a reunion for Med, it strengthens the larger Chicago tapestry. Will could easily pop up in TD, checking in on his brother Jay, or even in Fire, lending emotional support during a crisis. For fans, it's also a reminder that goodbyes in this universe aren't always forever. Characters who leave can, and often do, come back, giving loyal viewers the payoff of long-term storytelling. Nick Gehlfuss on returning. In a recent interview, Gehlfuss shared his excitement about stepping back into Will's shoes. "This character has been such a huge part of my life. To revisit him, even briefly, is like catching up with an old friend. The fans made it clear they weren't done with Will, and honestly, neither was I." That sentiment alone has energized viewers, many of whom still consider Will Halstead the soul of Chicago Med. The anticipation builds. No air date has been confirmed yet, but rumors suggest Gehlfuss's return will align with a mid-season sweeps event, a classic time for emotional reunions and dramatic twists. Fans are already theorizing how his guest spot will set the stage for the rest of the season, and whether it might even open the door to something bigger.